Hi guys, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be in Bookmas, and today's video we are going to be reading Christmas book together, because what's more Christmassy than reading Christmas books? Now I know my attire is not very Christmassy, I'm sorry, I will fix that for the rest of the clip, but we have 4 books on our TBR. As you will know if you've watched this channel for a long time, I pre-film my videos. Please don't think I'm reading 4 books in a day. I am not. I started reading for Bookmas and Vlogmas back at the start. It's currently the start of November, so we will read these throughout the month of November. I will just come back in and update you guys as and when we get to the book. So I will show you our 4 books first of all, and then let you get into my thoughts, feelings and clips. We have I Heart Christmas by Lindsay Kelk. This is the next book in the I Heart series. I think I will probably just give you more vibes of this book and feelings about it rather than plot, because it's quite far along in the series and it will give some major spoilers away. But excited, very excited, and I will be starting with this one. We also have One Christmas Eve by Shari Lowe. This is following 3 generations, 3 women through 3 decades with one unbelievable love story. I'm not quite sure how that works. I'm very intrigued to get into this one, and I'm just excited to pick it up. I got this one and the next one for Christmas last year, so they've been on my TBR for a whole year, so that's kind of built up the suspense. The next one which I got for Christmas last year, is Only for Christmas by Tracy Corbett. I know nothing about this book at all. It's about a woman. Literally the first sentence is, how do I turn down an overly keen colleague? I have zero interest in dating. So it's clearly going to be maybe like a fake dating kind of romance, so I'm very intrigued to get into this one as well. And like I said, I got this one for Christmas last year, and so to get into it now, it's been a whole year. I'm very intrigued. And the last one is a new release. It's one that I'm excited to get to because I've heard it's like the 3rd book in her series, more so, which I preferred. It was my favourite, and that is Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. I know nothing of what this book's about. I've just seen reviews about it, and I've seen a lot of people say if you like the 3rd book in the Icebreaker series, then you'll like this book, but if you were more Icebreaker vibes, then you'll probably prefer you probably won't like this one as much. So I'm very intrigued to form my own opinion on this one and to see what I think. But we will be reading these 4 books in this video. Like I say, these will be being read across November, so you will see clips. At the moment my Christmas tree and stuff isn't up, but that will be being changed very soon, so you will see clips kind of as my Christmas decor and stuff gets put up and as it gets closer and closer to Christmas. So I'm very intrigued to be reading these and kind of putting these in between some of the other books that I need to read for this month. And yeah, let's get into the video. Good morning guys. I thought whilst we are getting ready, I will give you an update on how I'm getting on with I Heart Christmas. So I am reading it both physically and on my Kindle because it's on Kindle Unlimited, so I thought whilst I have that option, I can also read it on my Kindle. And I prefer reading on my Kindle at night time, so it meant rather than picking a different book, I can carry on with the book that I'm reading. And I don't know whether I struggle to get into it because I wouldn't say I'm slumping, I would say I'm lacking some motivation to read. Like, I just am wanting to watch more TV. It's not necessarily feel like I'm slumping because it doesn't feel detrimental. I go through phases, kind of what I want to do, and at the moment I'm wanting to watch more TV, so I don't know whether that plays into it, or it's just I was reading a Christmas book without my Christmas decorations up, and now my Christmas decorations are up. I'm feeling so much more motivated to read it. I think I know where this story is going to go, and I think, like always with all of the I Heart book, it will base itself around a lot of miscommunication, her partner finding out something in a way that they shouldn't find it out, whether that be through a blog post or through her drunkenly telling them, and there will be this big overreaction from all parties, which will then be resolved. And it's obviously based at Christmas, so it'll all be resolved all in time for Christmas and our parents coming. That's what I believe is going to happen, but we shall see. I will say Angela can be an annoying character. I've read somewhere, or like on some reviews and stuff, oh, here she goes again, moaning and whining, and I'm like, yeah, but that is Angela. Like, we are on book 5 now, I believe. We know that's what she's like in every single book, so I'm not gonna sit here and go, oh, I don't want her to be like that. That is her character. She is whiny, she's immature, she's irresponsible, but that is why we're reading it for. So I am really enjoying it. I don't think I'm enjoying it as much as the last couple, but again, I don't know, I think that's got a lot more to do with my mood than it does the book. I'm intrigued to see if I'm right. With being in book 5, obviously we've met a lot of her kind of friends, and so there's side character stories as well with her 2 best friends. Both Jenny and Louisa have got a big story within this story, which is, I think it's nice because you're seeing it through Angela's perspective, but also a lot of these things that happen in Angela's life, it's very much things that might happen in real life with real friends that we know and care for. So obviously, as much as I don't want to be sat here wishing the downfall of those girls' relationships and like life, there's obviously things that involve in them that is really interesting to read about. So I am enjoying it. I would say I'm a lot more into the story now than I have been. I've been trying to read this book pretty much for a week now and have just not been wanting to read it. I will say one thing that does let these books down are the long chapters, because when you are not feeling reading or you're not really into a book, the last thing you're going to want to do is sit down and read a 20-page chapter because you just want to get into it, and all of the chapters are like that. So that is negative of these stories. That all the books like it, so I know what I'm getting myself into. So that is a negative, but that's the same in all of the books, and I think I say it every single time I read one of her books. I'm excited to carry on. I'm just hit the 50% mark and it is getting interesting. And then obviously I will be reading I Heart Forever as well in a video this month, as it's on my December TBR, and so it's currently wrapped up. I don't know what order these videos are going out in. I currently haven't unwrapped it, and I've not obviously read it because I'm still reading this one. So I am very excited to get to that book as well. And then we've got the last one, which is based in Hawaii, which will also be a very fun one to read. So I'm excited to carry on the series. This is obviously one of the last books in the series, so I will be sad to see the characters go, because although Angela is annoying, I feel like she's like a warm hug. Like, she's like one of my best friends in real life that you just kind of like, they can be. I think everyone's got friends in their life that can just be a little bit aggravating, but you love them all the same. So yeah, I'm going to carry on getting ready, and I will check back in once I've finished the book. And obviously this video is going to be one of the longer ones because we've got 4 but in this video. I'm not sure which book I'll be picking up next for this video specifically, because I'm kind of filming about 5 videos all at once. So that's like that. Yeah, I will chat to you guys in a bit. I have finished I Heart Christmas. So I have finished my first Christmas book this season. I am so excited. So I ended up rating this one 3 stars. I don't know whether it was just because I wasn't in the Christmassy mood straight away when I picked this book up, and as I've decorated for Christmas and got myself ready, that it's got me into the Christmas mood. I'm not sure, but I struggled to get into this book, and I do feel like Angela is just the same. I know she's still the same character, so I know that is expected, but I do feel like Angela, sorry, someone's just pulled up in front of me. I do feel like Angela is just whiny. Like, if you do not like the miscommunication trope, do not pick up these books, like, at all, because Angela is queen of miscommunication. She finds out bad news and then she doesn't tell anyone, or her friends tell her bad news and she bottles it up, and then in the end you get this big, and every book follows this, something bad happens, something bad to her happens, something bad to her friends happens, she bottles it all up, and then in the end she has this big blowout between her partners, her friends, everyone, and then it all gets resolved. Now, I love the characters, the setting, and I'm really just into the story now, and I am enjoying the series. However, I will say this series is not for everyone. I did enjoy this storyline. It did give me some Christmassy vibes. I mean, I will say it wasn't really Christmassy, because kind of the whole point of the book was that she was struggling with life and wanted to enjoy Christmas and couldn't. So that side of it meant that I didn't really enjoy, like, it didn't give me the Christmassy feels, but it was nice to see New York setting at Christmas time and what she got up to. So I personally would recommend the series. I did enjoy this book. It didn't give me as good a vibe as the last book. I am excited to pick up I Heart Forever, which will be in another video for you guys to see this month. So I am excited to see that. I'm excited to see where they go moving forward and kind of see the ending of all of their stories. I do feel like I Heart Forever will be end of the story. story, and then I Heart Hawaii will be with like that fluffy final book. So I am enjoying the series. I do enjoy the series, but I will say the series is not for everyone. This series is very much comfy girly read. It's got no real plot to it. It's nothing special. It's massive amounts of miscommunication, but if you can get into the characters in book one, then it kind of just feels like comfort. I read these books, or I think I read at least the first one or two books years ago, and so this to me is just really like comforting. I find this as such a comfort series, and I think I probably will return back to the series maybe in like a few years time. I'll go back and reread them again because it is just so comfortable to be with the characters, to be in settings that I've never been to. A lot of the settings where it's based, I mean, she did I Heart London, I've been to London. Everywhere else I've not been, so it's quite nice to see these cities through. She seems like an ordinary person. I know she isn't because it's not real, it's fiction, and a lot of the stuff that happens in these books wouldn't happen in real life. Like, you're not going to go to New York and find this amazing job and stuff, but she does seem like quite a normal person with like normal worries. So I am really enjoying it, but I would say that this is not a book for everyone, but I'm excited to pick up the next book. I'm actually going to start One Christmas Eve. I've got it with me today to actually start it, so that will be the next book that you see in this video, so I will give you a halfway check-in. Hi guys, so I am now, oh sorry for the dodgy angle, let me turn that on so at least it looks a little bit festive. I am now around 40% I would say through One Christmas Eve, and I am really enjoying it. So sorry I'm out of breath. I am trying to update whilst working out because I'm just gonna get behind with these videos out. So I am really enjoying this book. So what you're doing is in this book you're following Kathy, Helena and Eve. So Eve's mum is Helena and Helena's mum is Kathy, so you're following kind of the generations. Eve has just found out some family news that she's devastated about. Helena, and they're at the time where they're all in their 20s, so you're following each of them on Christmas Eve at the similar time point in their life. So in Eve's timeline, which is the most modern, she's just found out a big secret about her family and her upbringing, kind of her heritage, and so she's questioning that and wanting to find out more about that. In Helena's timeline, it's her birthday on Christmas Day, so she's spending her birthday Eve, and there's a big question going to be asked on that day because she always celebrates her birthday on Christmas Eve. And then in Kathy's timeline, she's just been reunited with an old fling but is actually pregnant with Helena at the time in her plotline, and you're following these three women in very different timelines and seeing where they were, what they were doing, and it's all broken down into hour times, so you're reading from the three different perspectives at roughly the same time throughout the day. So you read from like Eve's story, so you read what she's doing. I think it starts off like 8 till 10. Yeah, 8 till 10. So you read what Eve's doing 8 till 10 in the morning and see her life with obviously Helena and Kathy involved. Then you see Helena's timeline, what she's doing with Kathy involved, and then you see Kathy's timeline, obviously as the matriarch and the grandparent. So I am really enjoying it. I started off a bit apprehensive. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it because you're following the three different timelines. I wasn't sure, but I feel like each timeline has their own substance, that it keeps you engaged and it keeps you kind of wondering what's going on, and you can see what's happening on through generations and generations of families, and how also I'm sure there will be like a link interwoven into that. So I'm very intrigued by that. I want to know the answers to a lot of the questions that are going on. Each different timeline has a different question. There's people, because you're seeing Eve's timeline in the modern day, there's people kind of not in the timeline that are showing up in Helena and Kathy's timelines, and so you're finding out answers as to kind of where they are and what's happened. So I am really intrigued by it, and I'm excited to carry on. I am not wanting to work out tonight. I do just want to sit down and like curl up with it. I finished work, I went to a cafe and read some more, and I am just really like gripped by it. I'm also quite tired, so I do just kind of want to curl up, hot chocolate in hand, and get down to a good book, and this is proving that. So I will check back in when I've got more to say about it, but so far loving it. Would highly recommend to everyone. We finished One Christmas Eve by Shari Lowe. We actually finished this book a few days ago. In this book, you're obviously following the three different timelines, and they all come to a point at the end and they all like interlink together in a beautiful way. I ended up rating this one 3 stars, I believe. I'm just getting up my Goodreads because something about me is unless it's a 5-star book, I never remember what I rate books, which is an absolute nightmare. Let me have a look. How much did I rate it? It's all in the wrong order, guys. I've clearly been doing something. We rated this one. Oh, we gave this one 4 stars actually. I would say it was between that 3 to 4 star camp, and we ended up giving this 4 stars. I love how the book's interlinked at the end. Sorry, it doesn't like the lights in front of me, so I'll hold it at a slight angle. So I loved how all the timelines interlinked together at the end, and how all the characters kind of saw the connections towards the end, and that it was done. But it felt like sometimes when that happens, it feels like all the characters are drawn together, but in a very forced way. This way felt kind of natural, and you kind of could predict it coming, but not like right at the start as it's going, as the storyline's coming towards the end. You can go, oh, I reckon that's what's going to happen. And it was just cozy, and seeing the characters all in their 20s, and then seeing them when like one character's in their 80s, one character's in their 40s, one character's in their 20s, was really sweet to see like the family dynamic and the family history. I would recommend this one for like a really cozy, cute Christmas time. Like I said, I gave this one 4 stars because it was an easy read. I will give it that. It was an easy read, but it had substance. It had substance. It had not really a mystery. I guess the mystery is that Kathy, oh no, that's the eldest one, Eve, was trying to figure out about her past. So basically this happens right at the start. She does a DNA test and realizes that her father is not actually her dad, and so you're kind of following her on this one Christmas Eve as she's trying to navigate talking to her mum and her grandma about that situation, but also seeing the Christmas Eves from the mum and grandma's point of view, went from when they were in their 20s, and how that those paths all led to today's point. So I did really enjoy that, and I enjoyed the 1 year later seeing the timeline and seeing what happened. And also with Eve's timeline, I'm not really expecting the kind of like the romantic side of it to be what it was, and I did really enjoy that. I would recommend this book if you're looking for a Christmas book that's not just a Christmas romance. There has elements of romance in this, but it was not a Christmas romance. I would say it's more general fiction with, like I said, it's got romance element in it, and it is technically a romance, but more in the past timelines is more romance based, and it bases a lot around like love and romance and family dynamics. But it's not your typical Christmas romance book where it's like, oh, it's Christmas and they go to the markets together and then they fall in love. Like, it isn't. There's a lot more substance to it than that. So I would highly recommend this book. Please go and pick it up, and I will check back in when we've got more updates on Only for Christmas, because we have actually started that one now. I have an update. I finished Holiday Ever After. I don't think I gave you any other update. So this book, you are following Clara and Jack, and Clara is working for her dad's company who creates toys, and Jack is a small town toy store owner. Clara's company copies Jack's toy, and basically a founding member of the small town where Jack lives posts a video online which blows up, basically saying that the Davenport toys have stolen their idea and they are like worthless. And Clara has gone back from her division that she was helping out into PR, and she's gone to kind of go and solve the situation that has happened. She's got to go down to the small town and try and fix it, try and make them like her. And so you start off and she goes down and they want nothing to do with her, and then you slowly see the town be warmed around her through various different ways. I loved this book. I listened to this book on audiobook like I've done with all of Hannah Grace's books. I do feel like none of her books are, sorry, this one doesn't like the light, so I'm going to pop it down. I do feel like none of her books are literary masterpieces, because they are just kind of what it says on the tin. It's a fluffy romance. It feels like, you know, when you put on a film and you just are like, I just want to watch a rom-com. It's not because it's cinematic genius, but it's also not because it's rubbish. They are so boringly plain, and like, just, you know, roughly the plot line, you know what's gonna kind of the storyline you can predict, but it's so comforting, it's so cozy, and you love watching them or reading them. And that definitely was this book. I enjoyed Clara. I liked her go-to attitude, that she just wanted to get on with things, she wanted to help people. I liked the way Jack was also the same, and how they fitted into each other's lives, and it kind of felt like nothing and everything all at once. It wasn't that spicy. There was a little bit of spice, but Hannah Grace has moved away from the heavy spice, and it was a bit more closed door, this book. And I do feel like it was a proper cozy holiday romance. It wasn't anything major. It was really good to listen to whilst out for a walk, and I even listened to it on my run today, and I got so gripped to the characters and their story and how much they loved each other. And yeah, I would highly recommend this book if you want a really cozy Christmas book. And that's kind of what this video is about, isn't it? It's about finding cozy books that make you feel Christmassy without putting any stress. Christmas is such a stressful time of year for a lot of people. You've got lots to be doing, you've got lots of places to be, you've got lots of things that need to be done, and I want to read books that kind of reflect that and just show that I can go to this book and feel comfort and feel like I'm at home, just sat down with in front of the fire with a nice drink and just can like sit and read this book, and it's not pressing that I have to know what's happening next. And there's at no point where I felt like, oh my gosh, just one more chapter. Not in a bad way, just in a comforting way, that I could put the book down and know that everything would be okay. Whereas a lot of the time I read thrillers and I have to know what happens because I'm scared what's going to happen to the characters. In this book, you kind of had faith throughout the whole thing that everything was going to be okay. It was really cozy and comforting, and that sounds like such a backwards compliment, and I guess it kind of is. Like, I really enjoyed this book and just the comfort that it gave me, and I would recommend it to anyone that is thinking about picking it up. I do really enjoy Hannah Grace's writing, and I love the audiobooks that they produce for these books. I would recommend the audiobook. It is something that you can just have on in the background whilst you're decorating the tree or wrapping presents or whatever you need to do in December. There's always a million and one things to do, so it's definitely a background book, which is really lovely because, like I say, we're always busy. So, but I will check back in with you guys when we're reading the final book. I actually need to finish the book that you've already seen, so I'm gonna go do that. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying Bookmas so far by the looks of things, and yeah, I'll check back in once I finish book 4. I finally have a halfway update for Only for Christmas. This book, for some reason, I just didn't want to read it. I think I'm in a mini reading slump from the amount that I've read so far. I obviously have been reading a lot for Bookmas, which you guys will have seen and will see, but this book, for some reason, I just couldn't get into. For the longest time I was stuck on chapter 2. However, I kind of made it a priority over the last couple of days. I've done a lot of the Bookmas pre-filming, I've done a lot of Bookmas editing, and I'm like, right, okay, now I've got this book and 3 more books to read for videos, and actually that is what's going to keep me behind. A lot of the other videos are sit down ones that are left to film that I can get done. These books are the ones that are going to keep me behind, and so I have made it a priority to read this. And last night I ended up getting to page 151. I've read a little bit more this morning. I've read up to page 167, chapter 12, and I kind of just been reading it on my lunch and stuff like that, so it hasn't all been in one night. I think yesterday I started, or no, not yesterday, day before, I started on page 43, so I've managed to read about 110 pages within the last day or so. I'm finally getting into the book. I don't think it's a product of the book. I think there are things that I will mention in a minute, but I think it's a product of needing to read lots of books. I'm feeling slightly overwhelmed. Now, a lot of the other books I've read, I've listened to audio, so that's really helped because I've kind of read it and listened to the audio at the same time, whereas this one is not available on audio. I can't get it anywhere on Kindle as well, so it's hard to get into it at times because a lot of the time I was in bed and I was cold, so I'm like, I don't want to be reading physically, I want to be reading on my Kindle, and so I've just been struggling to get into it, but now I'm into it. I'll start with the negative. There are a few typing elements in this that are incorrect. Now, this, I believe, is traditionally published. It's traditionally published in 2023 by, who published? Canalo. There's a few errors in this, and I just think it's probably not been given full amount of editing attention with it being a Christmas book. I'm going to put it down now because the light doesn't like the shiny bit, but it's not, with it being a Christmas book, it's not maybe been given the full editing attention that it needed. However, it is really good. Those things have just taken me out of the story a little bit, but not by much. In this book, you are following, I want to call every guy Justin at the moment, and it's not. You are following Lucas and Sarah. Yeah, Lucas and Sarah. Lucas is an American. He's come over to the UK because his sister is going through a divorce, and he's just come over to the UK to help out his sister and has got a job in the hospital because he's a doctor in the US, and he was like, I don't want to come over to the UK and do nothing. I'm going to get a kind of maternity cover placement in a hospital for the month of December whilst I'm there, so I'm not just doing nothing. And Sarah is a HR representative at said hospital, and she has recently gone, or is she 5 years prior had gone through an awful situation where a man had let her down. So she doesn't trust men, and Lucas is golden retriever energy. The issue you've got is Sarah is working and has got a new boss, so a new owner of the hospital. She works for a private hospital. A new owner of the hospital has come in, and he's making these advances on Sarah and is making Sarah feel uncomfortable. And Lucas kind of steps in one evening and pretends to be dating her. She's decided after that they're going to break up. I don't like need the help from no man. However, the boss's advances carry on, and she ends up feeling like she's got no choice but to like have Lucas to help. What doesn't help is they live in the same building as well. So Lucas and Sarah live in the same building. Like I've said, I struggled to get into it. I do think it's semi-slow to start, but actually it's quite short. So I think the chapters are quite long. So I think that's the issue that I've got, is it felt semi-slow to start, but it's because the first chapter is like 11 pages. I am very much in my kind of thriller chapter length, which not only thrillers have chapters like that, but like your really short snappy chapters where they kind of get to the point, because it makes me feel accomplished. And it's written in third person, but every chapter you switch POVs, which I don't mind. It's just a weird concept to me, because you switch POVs and you switch days as well. I am enjoying it. I'm about halfway through. At the moment, I'd say it's sitting at a 3 or 4 star. I think it depends how that carries on. I am loving kind of the Christmas magic and seeing someone who doesn't like Christmas kind of come to terms with loving Christmas. That's always fun. But yeah, I will check back in once I'm finished. I'm hoping to get this one finished in the next couple of days, and then obviously that means this video is finished, because I've edited this video so far and it is looking good. I'm really happy with it. I'm hoping that I will get this done and edited in time, because this is the video that currently filming wise is the next video that I need to film and edit to get out. Fingers crossed, but I will check back in once I finished and got my final thoughts. I have an update for you guys. I have finished Only for Christmas. I finished this one last week, but we went away for the weekend, and then I got a little bit busy yesterday getting my hair done. So we've got freshly blonde hair. It never looks as good as it does when it comes out of the salon. Like, to me right now, it feels like I've got extensions in, and I don't. This is all natural. So very happy with that. But I'm not going to keep holding this one up because it doesn't like the light. However, we finished Only for Christmas and the last book of this video. It has taken me a while. That book put me in a little bit of, not a slump, I was just slumping. It wasn't because of that book, but I was just slumping. I gave this one 4 stars. So in this book, you are following Lucas and Sarah. So you're following Lucas and Sarah, and I loved their dynamic. This is my final check-in, so I've already told you what it's about. I need to remember this. I loved their dynamic. I think I said to you in the last check-in that I was enjoying this book. It just was like a very Christmassy read, and once I got into it, I loved it. I really liked the ending. I liked kind of how they got around the conflict of being away and stuff like that. I do think it's very Hallmarky. I gave this one 4 stars purely for the fact of it gave cute Christmassy vibe. If this was a normal contemporary romance and it wasn't a holiday romance, there is no way this would be 4 stars, because it is not in the 4-star realm. However, with Christmas, it gives the vibe of 4 stars rather than a 3-star, because I feel like with Christmas you've got a little bit more room to be cheesy, cliche, Hallmark. That's kind of where we were at with that book. The ending was predictable, the storyline was predictable. I mean, the third act conflict was semi-predictable. I liked the caveat with the manager, and I do think I liked the way that one was played out and having that suspense. I'm really sorry if you can hear the wind in the background, but I need to get this clip filmed because this video actually goes out today. Crazy. I'm normally really ahead, but this video goes out today. So I really enjoyed it. It was a cute, cozy time. It was exactly what it says on the tin kind of thing. It was a cute, cozy Christmas book, low stakes, fun time. So I'm gonna go and edit this little portion of the video, but thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all your love on Bookmas so far. Make sure you subscribe down below for more Bookmas content, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another fun Bookmas video. Bye.